Y'all ready? Y'all ready to jump in? Denard, man, listen, this has apparently
Yo,
been, I guess the people been waiting on this.
that's too much pressure. It ain't that serious, trust me. We just wetting the palates for today, brother. Like
I know. I feel you. I feel you, but they've been waiting. So I don't know, man. I don't know how you even want to dive into this, how you want to go, what flow you want to go with. Just introduce it to us and just let us know how you want to flow with this, man.
okay. And I'm very I think we can chime in similar to how we do the rooms and so I
Cool.
also ask you to lean into how you feel too. This is really me sharing something I learned, and Zar, part of this too, and just hearing what a lot of people just shared here. Jay, I this is my first time hearing your story, but like there's honestly, and even Luciano, my first time hearing your voice, but even though
Oh,
what you
really?
described to me, yeah,
Seen some
it's
great
still
people.
for real. Okay, okay, I'll trust you
Mhm.
on that. Good people know good people.
Yeah.
But I think about what he shared though, right? Like the reality of the weight of what he felt from afar, right?
Mm.
And watching events unfold, right? And I'm also thinking about what Jay just shared, like the responsibilities, the challenges, the emotional tolls, right? And let me see, I see a couple of people here that I know. James, we talked about some of the transitions with the ups and downs with careers and Rosa, the roller coaster emotions, right? And some of the everyday stress. Some people here I know are caregivers, right? Renee, we talked about that too.
Mhm.
All of this is the pressures that actually, I would say, I'm a obliger. We're going to talk about this from Gretchen Rubin's Four Tendencies. So that
Mm.
means I'm an empath and I meet external expectations first before I meet my internal expectations. But in plain and simple, what that means is that I typically feel like I'm the last person on my priority list,
Wow.
right? And so essentially with all that, with everything that we just discussed, what I was hearing that there's everyday stress, there's everyday pressures. I just said I came in here that I'm tired, right? But what I want to acknowledge is that everyone is having a real experience that you all just shared, right?
Mm.
And even with what weighed you down from afar that you see it, and you and Cali, right, Zar?
I'm in Vegas. I'm in Vegas,
Oh,
baby.
Vegas. Oh you're rich. You're rich.
I wish.
You're rich. But no matter where we're at, right? We still trying to figure out how to balance it all,
Mhm.
right? And sometimes even the reality of Zar, you talked about. I remember the first time you shared that really resonated with me in our group facilitator session, and I believe you had just experienced some similar to what Jay just shared, some grief. And I remember you saying, "Man, I don't need no new coping mechanisms. I just want some relief." Do you recall
Mhm.
that?
Yeah, I do. I
Yeah,
do. Yeah.
yeah, bro. And that was courageous for you to say that, to wear it in that space, right? But I just noticed immediately after that point in time, other people, they said what you said verbally with tears. I don't
Yeah.
know if you recall, everybody, yeah, was starting to feel for, it would seem like for the first time,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
and and that's literally to me, like when we have like whether it's work, family, y'all know I have two dirty diaper disciples. Those constant obligations that we have, bro, those things they slowly squeeze the life out of us, right?
Mhm.
Or honestly, I'm just gonna be honest. Like I was raised in this go get it hustle mode mentality, right? So I'm the busybody, and in truth be told, I lived it until it all. I lived that life until it almost took my life. I'm gonna repeat that again because that's
Wow.
important.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
lived that life until it almost took my life. Right? It cost me my goals. It cost me my health. Right? So if you're in this space questioning like where we're going, listen. If you feel like your healing is vital, but you're struggling to put you first, this space is for you,
Yeah.
right? And I want to make it relatable stories. I want to make it practical tools, right? Because you probably heard that cheap cliche too. Someone would say, easier said than done. I believe I rewrite that narrative and I say it's easier done than said because I will not ask you all to do anything that I have not done. right?
Come on now.
And so don't get me started, boy. You know that preacher is, yeah, oh Lord, you better stop.
We're gonna
But
break it out.
oh yeah, you done brought it out. It's coming. All right. Let me stop. But I think it's so important for us to stop putting our healing on the back burner, right? Like I don't. There's no way in the world you can embrace joy if it's the last thing on your mind.
Mm. Mm. Oh, please stop for a second.
Oh, go, brother.
Don't
Go
put your
ahead.
healing on the
Talk to me.
back burner. You cannot embrace joy if it's the last thing on your mind.
Mm-mm,
Oh
mm-mm.
my gosh. Listen,
Talk to me.
yep.
Talk
Go
to
ahead
me.
and light up screen. Listen, bro, listen. Oh man. It's the last thing in on our mind, last thing in our vibration, last thing in how we're actually
Mm,
trying to live our life, and yet we're crying that we don't have it.
mm.
We don't calibrate ourselves to these things, and I think we've been talking about that in a few of my circles. It's like you have to calibrate yourself to this stuff, and when you
Mm-mm.
calibrate yourself to it, it becomes the first thing on your mind. It
Hey.
becomes I said before, I talk about love and authenticity and whatever, so much so that it's the first thing that pops up when I run into conflict.
Yes.
So that
Ooh.
right there got me. That you got me right there. I
Hey,
need an
bro.
organ. Let me get an organ for next session.
No, we just went the palace. I love what you said. You gonna get me in trouble today, but I really do love what you said because. Oh wait, I see a hand. I think I saw Donald's hand. I'm gonna pause real quick.
That was him
It's a
saying hallelujah, I think. No, I'm just playing.
Donald. Did you want to share? Because I'm definitely at a point where we can chat.
No, no,
No.
no, 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 no. I was raising my hand and saying hallelujah.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Not, okay, so now Zara prophet. Okay, I get it. I get it. I
You didn't
get
know?
it.
You didn't know? How you think I do this work? This is how I do
Oh,
this work.
oh, we found
Uh,
out. I'm glad it's recorded because we got false
uh,
prophets too.
darn.
Let me stop. Let me stop. No, I'm joking.
That's
No,
good
but
though.
there's something you said, bro. Like this aspect of recalibration, and it becomes the first thing. And you just shifted me real quick because I remember like when I was shifting from Southwest Michigan. I went to seminary school, social work school in Southwest Michigan. Don't do it. If you from Florida, like just don't do it. There's the winters are way too long. I love Andrews, by the way, since this is recorded. Let me just go ahead and hodgepodge that
Throw that in
together.
there.
Yeah,
Hmm.
but the reality of that experience for me was one of the paradigm shifts that I had at the end of my journey, where the whole time I thought my mindset, even with love and relationships, and here's what's so key, like I tied my happiness and joy to intimate partner relationships, right?
Mm.
So
Mm.
when you said that last that first that calibration, so in my mindset during my journey, before I had that experience, I thought that my first would be my last, right? And so as I
Mm.
was shifting and starting to learn how to ditch all the crap and the drama and start to embrace the good, I remember God telling me specifically that, Denard, see, you got it wrong. I wanted you to experience your first with your last. So I started to experience all my first of finally breaking free and recognizing that I could actually be happy for someone's happiness without being the catalyst of it because I was recalibrating. I was letting go
Ooh.
past the past baggage. Come on, talk to me. I'm telling you, bro, I'm telling you, this is my story. Today, I'm promise you all, I'm not trying to do the fluffy feel good stuff. I'm really telling you all that out of the roots of what I experienced, the bitterness, because I tell everyone all the time with my bout of suicidal ideation in 2008, that I believe out of my misery, God had birthed my ministry. Right. And
Come on.
that's why for me, compassion fatigue is a thing, but it's not my thing. Right. Because
Hmm.
in these
Hmm.
spaces, I can live vicariously through you all because going to what you said, that first, now recalibrating, I now respond to all the drama according to my purpose. So
Come
it
on.
takes energy. Catch what I'm saying now, because it takes energy to be fake. So I'm not going to. And Elaine Wainsworth, she said something. You'll like this. She says that our most the the activism we can do in places and systems that weren't built for us, the most advocating we can do is actually being authentic, right? And so that first experience is probably the first time you're really authentic to yourself. You're honest with yourself. You're digging and identifying and addressing the root cause of whatever that burnout is, that list that you had going. You lost the focus because you were focused on the list, but you forgot that I'm the one creating the list. Right,
Oh.
right.
Hmm.
So in that discovery, like you empower yourself instead of disempowering yourself, because you shifted your language that also manifests in your soul from saying, oh, I can't do this, I didn't get this done, to saying I'm the one writing the list in the midst of all life's complexities, right? So that's why I'm gonna stop here, man. I see something's coming up for you, but talk to me, man.
I just want to know where you preaching at Sunday. I'm on my way. Denard, bro. No, like real talk. Everything you're saying is really, I think it's hitting everybody in this room. It's hitting all of us in this room, like real talk, because I think that this is oh.
I'm with you. I just didn't say.
Anybody else just got the going on. I'm seeing these hands. You're hitting like right at the heart of. You came in hot today, bro. You all right?
It is a little warm in the room. We forgot to take off the heater. That might be what.
We're supposed to ease into this, but no, I really feel like this is extremely, extremely, extremely important, because you're hitting right to the very heart of who we are. You're hitting right to the very center of who we are. You're not talking right now to our minds. You're talking to our spirit.
Amen.
You're calling to our. Is anybody else with me? Anybody else with me on this? You're calling to our spirit, and see, and this is right in the line with what I be trying to do. You know, but you're bringing it out of us. It's like you're coming right to that space, right to the very heart of who we are. And so now we have to be held accountable to living according to this authentic self. When you said I'm finna paraphrase it, but I filter everything through my purpose. When I'm coming up against these things, I have to look at my purpose in the midst of you messed me up. I'm gonna go on and go. You could finish tonight.
No, that's good, man. And you gotta really realize, like, when we talk about the energy and the fakeness in that space, right? The reality is you have to ask yourself, because there's only two examples in this world. It's either what to do and what not to do. So if you're saying I can't do something, really what you're saying to yourself is I'm putting my energy in things not to do because I'm not responding according to my purpose. Because your purpose will fill you. You get what I'm saying? Your purpose will fill you. That don't mean you won't be strained by the sensitivity of the things around you. That's why I can articulate through my journey that my purpose is to restore people's faith in God's voice and let them know that a friend is listening. So when someone's talking about what they saw on Drake on Twitter, I don't care about that. You get what I'm saying? That I don't have to respond according to that. What I respond according to is the needs of someone that's saying in the night's watch at the end of the day, Joseph, when you were sharing in our room, that you were talking about, like, I was in a deep, dark place. According to the humanity in me, I immediately listen and I lean in, because my response starts at my presence. I want you to know that you're no longer alone in that space, right? So that's how we start to ditch the drama, because now we're not reacting. You got to keep in mind that our nervous system, it actually responds to the world in and around us, because we were created that immaculate. So even if you don't actually take note of what you're reacting to, right, your body is keeping count. Right. And so that's part of some of the roots of the causes of our burnout, that we are actually reacting and not responding according to our purpose.
Oh, my goodness. Take a breath, bro. Take a breath, bro, because we ain't welcomed nobody into the room. Because get in where you fit in, folks. Some of our burnout is because we're reacting to life instead of responding to our purpose. A lot of our burnout, most of our burnout.
Come on.
Reacting to life instead of responding in our purpose. Did y'all catch that? Somebody type that in the chat some kind of way. Type it in there, because y'all know me and the chat don't get along too good. Oh, I see a hand. Denard, can we take this hand?
Please, bro. I'm following your
Yeah.
lead, man.
Yeah.
Let's
Go
go.
ahead. Go ahead, James. Oh man.
Man, look,
I'm stirred
man,
up over here, James. You done got stirred up.
Praise
man,
God.
look,
Yeah.
James took me out.
man, look. I don't know what to say.
Oh, you put up your hand and not know what to say.
Well, I mean, because like, so you talk about burnout, right? Yeah, but the thing is, have you ever? Hold on, I gotta do a mic.
I know. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, have you ever thought about like when you so burnt out, uh, just like in general, right? Do you ever pause in the midst of your burnout before you react and take time to settle and then react? That makes sense.
Then respond.
Yeah.
Then respond. That's what we have to do. Because when you start to feel that wick going out. When I start to feel that flame going out, it's kind of like to stop. And like Denard is saying, it's like realign. We all I've said before, you all, and y'all hear me say it all the time. It's like we're in this world, we're going to be affected, but we don't have to be infected. Right. And so to really take that pause and to look at what is.
Hey, you stop the recording. Hey, yo, hey, what you said? Oh, what? Hey, you better, well, I almost fell out. Hey, can you repeat that one more time for me so I can fall out? Actually, I want to
So
prepare myself before the fall. Go ahead, please.
We're in this world and we're going to be affected, but we don't have to be infected. All right. So things are going to happen, right? You're going to have those moments where you recognize, man, I'm getting tired. And you got to check. We have to check. We just had this session a little bit ago, rediscovering your authentic power through self-reflection, and to be able to stop yourself and say, what is this that I'm really feeling? And is it that I have now abandoned what I really was going out to do? For those of you that know, there's this verse in scripture that says, I have somewhat against you because you've left your first love. You stood up for holiness and all these other little things, but I got something against you. You left your first love. That to me is coming to the most authentic aspects of your being, the part of you that's connected to source, the part of you that's connected to God, the part of you that's connected to purpose, the part of you that's connected to your authentic being and your essence. And when we've left that, we get exhausted. When we've left that, we've stepped outside of what our purpose really is. So a lot of what Denard is saying in this session, man, what I'm gathering from this, like you said, ditch the drama. I don't have to calibrate myself to everything that pops up in my eyes. When it does not align with my purpose, then I don't need to waste energy towards it. I don't need to put energy towards it that's going to later have me exhausted. So James, that's exactly what we're having to slow down, stop, recalibrate, get back into that authentic flow. Not get back in the to-do list. Get back in the to-be list.
Hey, you better stop. I promise you, I'm gonna quit. I promise you. I'm dead serious. You can't do this to me. You really. What? Czar. All right, I gotta go on mute.
I'm just saying what I feel from what you're saying, man, and even the idea of moving from the autopilot to authentic life. We've become human doings, right? And everything is about, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do this. Even with our healing, we look at it as a to-do list instead of looking at it as a to-be list. I say it, some of them have heard me say, some of y'all have heard me say, I look for the tools that we get. I look for it in me. Why? Because I'm going to still have to live from my being. And when I can get into that authentic space and that authentic flow of my being, everything that comes out as action is now inspired doing. So in other words, it comes from the word inspired. It comes from the word in spirit, or in our conversation today, we're talking about our authentic self. So then now I'm not going to be inauthentic by just being or inactive by just being. When I really tap into being who and what I really am, from that sense of solidarity, from that connection, I have inspired action. And when my actions are inspired by the spirit of my being, I significantly reduce the chances of my flame burning out. I'm not saying we don't get affected again, but I significantly reduce it to where I can live life from my spirit. And everything that comes from me begins to be a fruit of my spirit being intact. All right. All right. It's quiet in this Presbyterian church. Go ahead, Jay.
Thanks. I was just wondering, what if like you used a lot of your energy so fast and so much that you didn't even realize what you were doing? And then it's like this whole thing that really was your purpose. You still think kind of there is a purpose in it, but it's just kind of like sitting there and like, because I know you know what I'm talking about
Mm-hmm.
with the thing I've been trying to work with and create. And like, it's like almost like playing games with me mentally, you know, this thing. And it's something that I created, you know? And,
Mm-hmm.
so everything you guys are saying there is so absolutely spot on and right. I just don't even know which direction to go now, because
Be still.
like, I feel like it's the to-do list. Like,
Be still. Be still.
Okay.
I want you to hear that in your spirit. Be still.
Yes. Thanks. Okay.
Be still. The purpose isn't gone. Purpose isn't even going to leave. I want you to be still. And in that being still, you're going to know.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Let's breathe that in with Jay real quick, y'all. While let's light up the screen too. Jay, look at the screen, because I know what you're facing right now. I know what you're going through.
Honestly, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. Breathe that in. Yeah. Woo. All right. All right. Yeah. Go ahead, Denard. Woo. Get off the flow, bro.
When you silence Denard, there's a problem.
You say, oh, y'all are heavy in here today. And I mean that in a good way. I mean that in the best, the calibration, because I feel y'all shifting. Jay, I feel you shifting.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know what happened. God done saved me, because I couldn't speak and I couldn't unmute.
Oh. Mm. 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 Is this helping y'all already? This is the first day. Yeah, this gonna be a double session. Ditch the drama, embrace the good, unmask your hidden habits from autopilot to authentic life. Donald, go ahead, man.
You know, I don't even know what to say. I just wanted to raise my hand as if I wanted to say something. Honestly.
That was you being counted in the number.
I don't even know where to start. Yeah, this is... All right, I'm going to shut up.
Wow. I saw your hand, Janice. Man.
Oh, I didn't want to say anything.
Okay. All right.
I was in awe of Donald saying he doesn't have anything to say.
Oh. let's go to Matrix. Yeah, I feel you. Come on, man. Come on, Matrix.
Yeah, keep on witnessing. I mean, yeah, in my still moment, it was like, sometimes we go down and say, God, why me? And like Spirit just said, why not you? Because there's a purpose in that. And it's about, for me, it was about realigning myself with my spiritual connection and stop focusing on the creation and focusing on the creator and the purpose that I have, because sometimes we get so caught up with the drama of the world. Sometimes we even create that drama ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And then, we then ask God, why me? And like, for me, it's like God says, why not you? Because I'm not going to give you more than what you can bear. It's whether or not you really, truly have the faith to push through and to navigate through this. And you're not going to be able to do it through through me being stubborn and not listening and taking that time of silence to just be still, and to wait and to be patient, but to be kind to myself, and whilst I'm still going through this, and to keep to hang out with people and encourage people, no matter what you're going through. It's only for a time, but sometimes we want to be the author and creator of time, and we can't do that. And I'm very much a spiritual person, and I do believe in my scriptures, and I believe that God is an on-time God. It may not come when I want him, but it definitely turns up, shows up, and that's what I truly believe in. And so for me, why am I exhausted? Because I've been planting my seeds in a field that is barrenless. It doesn't serve any purpose, and I'm standing there watching these seeds try to grow into fruition and reap a harvest of nothing. And then you plant these seeds, and then you just see it all burn down, and you're like, God, why me? But if you understand farming or agriculture, to get a good crop, sometimes you have to burn the old crop down to start again and revisit exactly what it is that you need to do.
Hey.
Denard, have you met Matrix?
I'm stuck in the Matrix. Oh, yeah.
Come on, y'all. Let the wisdom flow today, because that's how we get through this. That's how we make this alignment happen. Oh man, thank you so much, Matrix. I see Tam. Go ahead, Tam.
Hi. I love what you said about probably paraphrasing from autopilot to authentic.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
Yeah.
The words you said? Because I think about this when I'm driving and you just see everybody in traffic, and I'm just like, what's going on every day? Just going here, going back, going here, going back. We always have to be somewhere. We always have to do something. We never stop to smell the roses. So can you give some input on how to go from autopilot, from the things that we need to do, to getting more into our authentic self?
Okay. I'm gonna push it on Denard.
Okay. I'm gonna push it on. I'm a pro plagiarizer, by the way. So I'm gonna steal a little bit of what I heard from Matrix, because I think so. My dad's a landscaper, and so I learned a lot about life through landscaping. I think this is going to answer a question I saw in the chat, by the way, too, about purpose. That the stillness is a huge answer to this conversation, by the way, because not only is it an empowerment act. So I had a colleague I was doing another podcast with, and he called it forced pauses. And I shared this in a group, and then I go to this the power of the garden experience, right? And we're going to talk about this too as well next week. By the way, you will like this, Zara, because it's funny. God works because that's the connection. I'm actually going to use the Garden of Gethsemane moment to answer this question in its fullness, right? But we're just laying the groundwork right now. And the forced pause that my colleague talked about was the stillness, which is also one, listening to the loved ones that love you when you don't love yourself, right? Because by your actions, I can tell you don't love yourself. You love others more than you love yourself. Not you. I'm talking to myself right now. So don't judge yourself. Just judge me. It's okay. I can take it right now. And so the other thing that I learned in this moment is forced pauses. My colleague talked about it in the form of stop signs. So when we're in autopilot, let me go back to the young lady. I think, Tam, you were sharing this, is the autopilot describes there is someone that's in driving mode, right? And so in driving, even in autopilot, even a car that's in autopilot knows to stop at a stop sign, right? And so essentially my colleague was talking about when we get to a stop sign, it will put our body and our mind in a place where your mind might still be going, but your body has to pause, right? Your car has to pause, right? There's something that you finally can't really control fully because there's other variables that's going. So he told me, I remember Zar, he said, Denard, what is the stop sign telling you to do? And I said, clearly to stop, right? And, you know, I don't like, at this time, I'm kind of, y'all may not know, but I got a big, oddly shaped head. So I'm like, come with a harder question, right? And so, but he's leading the witness when he posed this question. And he essentially gets to the point. He says that you're looking at it explicitly, right? But because I'm an empath and I'm an obliger, remember, obligers look to, actually, I'm motivated by external things. So like, don't call me dirty, Zar, because I already see your eyes, but I won't really want to clean my house until I know I got people coming over, right? So all of a sudden, I'm Molly made, right? And so he was helping me understand that the implicit aspect of the empath, the goal is still being met when you come to a forced pause. But when you see it explicitly, you're like, oh, this is causing me to stop, right? But really, he said, what is the implicit side of the stop sign? It's allowing others to go. So sometimes that stillness is really helping you to do what you've always wanted to do, but it's allowing you to properly place that energy. It's allowing you to properly place that empathy. It's allowing you to properly place that love. And it's allowing you to trust people, to trust themselves. It's allowing you to empower people in the way you've always wanted to empower them without disempowering yourself. It's really allowing you to engage in a new way, to really allow God to be God and not relinquish that control that you thought you had by doing things for people. See, you only look good because you're doing good. You're trying to protect your good reputation, but that stillness is an intentional stillness so people can see the creator, just like we said, instead of the creation, and Oswald Chambers said it best this way. He says the biggest competitor for the work for God is the work of God. So a lot of us are doing the work of God, but God is not really working through us. And that's why even good intentions can create meaningful harm. That's why you're on the back burner. I gotta stop because I want to get to this garden concept. But the answer essentially for me, it starts with that stillness, because there's a knowledge that taps into a wisdom that couldn't be curated to the creativity of this awesome God or this awesome experience that you're experiencing in this moment because you weren't still enough. And Pico Iyer in a TED Talk, he talks about and I love what it's a TED Talk. It's called Where is Home? But he talked about it's in the stillness we know how to move. And I share this last thing. My brother, and I shared this in different rooms. My brother is he was in the Coast Guard, in the Army, and private contractor work. And he was telling me we would always go to a restaurant, but he would never put his back against where he couldn't see who's coming in and who's leaving. And I'm like, oh, bro, you a little bit weird, bro. Like you should be able to sit wherever. You know, because that's how we were raised. You sit wherever the open seat, the closest seat is. And so O told me, he said, D, you don't understand, right? And I was like, okay, so help me understand. And he explains to me, he says that when we were in the enemy trenches, what we were taught was to stand back to back, right? But here's the caveat. We weren't told to move, because if we move, we can't tell if the enemy's moving. So let me come to this too. So sometimes when we're moving too quickly, when we're on autopilot, we're not even doing the work of God. We're actually allowing the enemy to manifest in our household. So you're trying to figure out why your kid doesn't want to remain home, because you weren't home the whole time. You're not present, right? And even when you are home, your mind's elsewhere. I'm talking to myself. I'm not talking to anyone else right now. Like, I'm not talking to anyone else right now. I'm talking to myself. We got to dig deeper, right? So when we talk about that, we got to spark that curiosity, right? To say it's not about what I do, what I'm doing, but God is saying it's the doing that's undoing what I'm doing, right? So there's an undoing that needs to take place in the stillness, right? So we that's why it's an intentional stillness. It's a forced pause because it actually frees not just you, but everyone. And that's what I believe is true freedom. The Bible calls it a jubilee experience, right? I need to be happy for your freedom, right? But when I get caught up in doing for people, I can't be happy because now I'm depleted.
Tell us what you really feel, man. That
Wow.
Everybody,
I'm
right?
my
Be
breathing
still.
techniques.
Right?
Breathing
Be
techniques
still.
right now.
Yeah. Right. Be still. Right. Be still. I put in the chat too. Right. Be still. Real big on your paper. Write it real big on your heart. Just some of our doing is undoing what we're trying to do. Yeah, we got a lot of dead airspace on this. These selahs. We got 13 minutes. Let me get these. Tamara, go ahead, Tamara. Tamara, you muted.
What is up? Are you talking to me, Bradley, or who's up?
Tamara.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yes.
Yeah. For some reason it kicked me out of the app. It's so funny. Thank you for saying my name right. But I think I'm just gonna start going by T because it's taken up time. But I appreciate you saying it correctly. How can I follow that? I mean, how can I follow that? All I have to say is preach on, preacher. I know when I was in the church, I always thought my spiritual gifts was like hospitality and, welcoming. And I'm very much a people person. I don't know any strangers, but I used to run myself ragged doing that. I was extremely codependent, so I always, and a people pleaser. So I always looked to everybody else to validate me. And, I never felt good enough. I never felt like I was enough. I had to keep doing this. And as a codependent, I would do things at the detriment to myself. So I was having relationships with people, but I called them projects because every one of them was a project that I was trying to fix.
Wow.
They had they had the same. One time a therapist told me to write them down, write my relationships down. And I had the same relationship for like 20 years, but they just had a different name.
Name.
Yeah. But so, yeah, I just think that everything, the more you can come in circles and the more that you can be in these rooms, the knowledge and the wisdom and the gifts and amazing. I'm very blessed that I get to spend about 3 hours a day in circles. Because I work from home and I don't have to work until the phone rings, so I get a lot of free time. So I just listen, and every time I listen in a room, I learn something. And I just want to finish with saying, and I've been diagnosed with bipolar 2. I did not get divorced. I did not get diagnosed until I was 42. So from 18, 17, 16 to 42. My entire life was chaos. So if you have chaos and drama happening in your life, that might be something to consider. And finally, you have survived 100% of your worst days. So thank you for letting me share.
Thank you, Tamara. Come on, Bradley.
Oh, hi. Thanks. Yeah, it was pretty strong words. I just wanted to encourage everybody that, you'll get through this in time. And, even if the relationship was both ways for being toxic, that's exactly what I did. I started cleaning my stuff up, and I've said this lots. You start to understand other people, and they're toxic for a reason. I don't know if I was empathic. I thought I was, but I wasn't. I'm just super hypersensitive because of my mom. But I certainly can read a situation now, and without any judgment, you just really start to focus, and staying in the now is where it's at 100%, because the three dimensions that we live in, you spend too much time thinking about the past, and then you start thinking about the future, you drag the past into the future, and you're never sitting in the now. So I just wanted to say those were good words. Thank you.
Yeah. Tied right back into that be still. Yeah. Oh man, y'all, I really hope this is sitting in your hearts. Not in your head. Not just in your head. I hope this is sitting. I hope this is sitting and stirring just in your heart. I want you to come up with, as I'm thinking about this, and as we're waiting to hear from some more of you, because I've been sitting here just all the time, just this be still. How can you remember that? And just different ways I've been sitting here acronyming it, and came up with a few that I'm trying to work with, because this is one of the ways that I look for this stuff in me. Again, don't just take any tools that are given as something to just check off on a list, but find it in you, folks. Find it in you. That's how it becomes authentic. Go ahead, Donald.
Man, I'm still stuck. I'm still stuck on the what was said at the beginning about how can we be happy if we're putting ourselves last on the list?
Yeah, and joy is the last thing at the forefront of our mind.
Yeah, and then the reason why my hand was going up and down is because there was once I get started on one thing, another one came up, and then another one came up, so I couldn't keep up. There was no time to really soak, and so I'm going to be definitely debriefing for sure. But what Tam was talking or asking about the earlier about how do you know? I think it was Tam. How do you know? And then we got on the topic of the stillness. And before that stillness came up, the first thing that came to my mind was, the environment responds. And there's such a delicate, relationship, the oneness of ourselves and our environment. So, when I think about once we have the courage enough to really, speak our minds, stand for something, not fall for anything, which is something my father used to always tell me, is that, we have to build up that courage. But then when we're not seeing the satisfaction of our whatever we're standing for, that stillness to me, right? That listening to the environment and seeing what it's responding, how it's responding. And that's what I was drawing from that stillness, is just to be able to see, and someone mentioned too, I think it was Matrix, about just with so much going on, there's so much. I mean, you can choose out of 1,000 different revolutions that are going on, but you almost really have to decipher, and you really have to choose and curate what is it that you really are and who you are. Because it's important, because whatever you do stand for, can you actually live that eloquently? It's just what I'm drawing for. And this is, I definitely hope that there's a debrief or more on this, the same room, because this is, man. Thank you for this. I appreciate it, Czar. Thank you, Denard.
Things Czar might have gotten stuck with me as well. So I'm not gonna let this space pass. And I do see Matrix, and I want us to continue. Yeah, I do. Yeah, welcome. Welcome, Twin Z. Welcome, Twin Z.
You got kicked out?
Yeah, that's what happened earlier. But I was on the floor, so it didn't matter. It just gave me time to get up.
Kicked me out of my own room. Ain't that about
Stillness. You had to be in stillness.
Hey,
Yeah. Go ahead, Denard. You saw whose hand was it? Matrix or something?
yeah, it was Matrix and James.
Yeah, this is just in my spirit, Denard. That and I put in the chat, Jacob wrestled with God. Can you imagine how exhausting that was? That Jacob wrestled with God. I mean, you've got to get. He's got a big ego, super ego, and you standing there and God is there saying, "I'm telling you something," and you're like, "No, I'm gonna wrestle with you." You get what I mean? And he wrestled, yeah, but he was exhausted. But there's a message in that. That's why God says, "Come to me and find your rest, find your peace, keep still." Because if you've lost focus on your purpose, and I mean, I'm just coming from a spiritual point because I think this is the reason why I came to this group. I didn't really realize I was going to get a word, is because God is saying to me, you've moved away from your purpose. You've started focusing on other people's business that you have no business in with, and you've forgotten about your business, me and your business. Remember, there's a contract that me and you, that I've already signed you up to. But you've got to remember to read the contract. There's terms and conditions in that. But I'm not going to end the contract. Are you prepared to end the contract, Matrix? Are you wrestling with me? Are you wrestling with me so much that you're so tired that you're at a place now and you're looking for drama? You're creating your own, you're your own author of your own drama because you're not moving in your authentic self, in the self that I've created you to be. But I'm not holding you in judgment. What I'm saying to you
Amen.
is be still. And if you have ears to hear, you will hear. But I'm not going to leave you. And that is what I'm getting from this. How many of us are modern day Jacobs? How many of us know that our calling and purpose, but are not taking that step of faith to move into that? And going around creating drama and blaming other people. I've sat I got involved with a narcissist. But as I'm journeying on, nobody forced me to. I made the wrong. I didn't discern. Didn't use the gifts. I dropped the mic.
Wow. Oh man, y'all. All right, we got 2 minutes left and 2 hands. 2 minutes, 2 hands. So y'all, go ahead, James. Go ahead, James.
Hey, Czar. I was gonna say, man, the reason why y'all keep getting kicked out is because it's hot in the room.
Yep. Go ahead, Clarita.
We're looking at layers of truth, which I don't like. I added layers, but as we're learning, then
You're breaking up, Clarita.
Okay. Hold on, can you hear me?
I think so. Give us a whole sentence.
Can you hear me now? Is this is a whole sentence?
Yep.
Okay. If we're looking at it in layers of truth, which we have a habit as human beings, looking at it in layers, because I think to human beings, it's like taking one step at a time when we look in layers. So to arrive at the truth, which is not really layers anymore, we arrive at the fact, which most of us will have a hard time understanding, that God is omniscient, timeless, eternal. God is love. And in that sense, God has defeated everything that's wrong already, but we just don't know it.
Oh man.
Okay, I'm done. I'm
me
officially
too.
done. Somebody's gonna have to resurrect me right now. Like I'm done.
Me too. I didn't put up the heart, the microphone, the piano. It's
Can
some
we
of y'all
do some
might.
breathing exercises before we go, please?
Oh, what kind of breathing exercise you want to do?
I
Because
mean,
I'm on the
it's
floor.
so
I'm on the floor
good. I'm on the
too.
floor. I'm like holding my
Yeah,
breath.
me too. I'm holding my breath
Oh.
on the floor.
be still, everybody. Be still. Taking a deep breath. Hold it. And just release. I don't even want to put times on it. I want you to find your rhythm. Be still. Deep breath. Release it. I want you to think about everything that was said in the session. Be still. Deep breath. Breathe it in. Release it. This time I want you to put your hand over your heart. Ask it to open up. I want you to breathe in the essence of what took place in this room today. I want you to imagine it going into and filling your heart. Deep breath. Oxygenate yourself with all of this essence. And breathe out new life. Listen, y'all gonna be different after this one. This was transforming for me. I'm declaring that. Find you a declaration that matches what happened for you today. Find you a declaration that matches what happened for you today. 3 times because I grew up Baptist. Find a declaration that matches what happened in you today. Be still. Denard, do you have any final comments or?
Well, I'm gonna be honest, bro. I can't talk. I'll be very honest right now. I'm just taking it in.
Folks, I hope this. Whoo.
So I just say bye.
Yeah, it's one of those. Meet us next time, y'all. Next week, not next week for this one. I think Denard is the week following. I think it's the 16th, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's what they told me.
I'm not sure, man. I might need 3 weeks to be honest.
You might need, or is it the 20th?
If this is going to be like this all the time, we need a debriefing room after this.
A debrief?
Yeah, because.
And maybe the paddles for people who have cardiovascular issues.
Oh, not the paddles. Clear.
Actually, that's a good point.
Clear. Just watch the app, y'all, because I know we're doing this one. But I think there was a break in the middle, and then we come back on the 23rd, or maybe the 23rd. But watch it. Either way it go. Y'all know where to y'all know where to be. You know where to be.
Needs to come with a warning, like water, be hydrated, be in a place where you can breathe.
Yeah.
All these things. Food.
I want to make sure we say that at the top of the group next time.
It's worth
at the
it.
top of the session.
Oh my Lord, it's worth it.
This will be on Spotify, right?
Yes, everybody. Please remember. I think it usually takes Circles about a day or two to really get it on there. But it will be on Spotify. So I think you just subscribe to Circles channel on that. And again, y'all, I hope that this just stirred up something in you that's transformative. Something transformative that you can take with you and then breathe from you. All right, ditch the drama, embrace the good, unmasking the hidden habits from autopilot to authentic life. let's thank Denard for just stirring us up today and just sharing his heart with us, sharing his authenticity with us. And I really truly can say, man, right now, what comes from the heart reaches the heart. I know it's a cliche, but that's a real life experience right now for me. What comes from the heart reaches the heart. Yeah, thanks, Denard.
Thank you, Denard.
Yeah. All right. And as Spirit said, bye. I will talk to y'all later.
Bye.
Peace, folks.
Goodbye. Thank you so much.
Peace
Thank
out.
you.
Goodbye.
Peace, everybody. Peace.
Thank you both. Appreciate you.
You need to like start creating some more sessions, new sessions. Any session you guys do together is phenomenal.
It's all in the works. It's all coming. And again, if you all like this kind of stuff, please leave a review for these, especially for these masterclass. Leave reviews. Let circles know that this is what you're liking. And they're trying to listen. You know, and I think
gonna be
some
like,
people
Why
have
does everyone
requested
say they're on
this.
the floor? They can't breathe. They're on the floor. Everybody said they couldn't breathe after this class.
Oh, well,
They're gonna be so concerned. We're all gonna be like, dude,
right.
I'm on the floor. I'm
Right.
dying.
We're
Can't
on the
breathe.
floor. Can't breathe.
You're on
You
the
know.
floor. You're on the floor because you can't breathe because you wrestled with God like Jacob. That's what.
Yeah.
We're having a Jacob moment.
Right. So yeah, folks, leave a review and just let them know that these are the kind of things that you want, that you enjoy, that you're liking, and that way they know to kind of just keep it coming. And I told you all, I've heard some rumors about some things that's coming that I think you all are gonna love. So, but they're listening to you. So, you know, those reviews are important.
When will this be on Spotify?
Probably a day or two. Give it about a day or two.
I just got to say, this gave me more joy than the whole love bombing stage.
I bet it did.
I swear to God, I never
Yeah.
felt more joy. Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you for being here. All right, folks, we're out. Want to respect Denard's time. He got this is the end of his day. So, all right, folks, I will holler at you folks later. Have a good weekend. Peace. Woo.